2022 budget is unrealistic to forcing. I have no authority to release documents to you. Chief Justice to NDC MP on alleged unlawful law school admission, and KJL Group committed to delivering value in excess of 100 million Ghana cedis per annum to government. Also, man kills lover, stores body in refrigerator somewhere in the Volta region. And don't release info on presidential trips. Brian Achampon cautions Kandapa as he schools minority on security. Well, the people are demanding for accountability. Should we continue hiding behind national security, not to tell the people how much it cost them? Wound to me under pressure. Former MP advises him to bow out for new faces. The Daily Graphic newspaper says, embrace tax measures. Finance Minister appeals to Ghanaians. And Prempe Presek Ketasco for NSMQ finals. Where your school day? That's the question. Asabi leaves SIGA to focus on MPP chairmanship. And on the back page, boss takes delivery of 5,400 pipes for expansion. Also, Newmont Foundation completes 127 projects in the Ahafo region. The Ghanaian Times, dead body of woman found in refrigerator at Fiave. A boyfriend is on the run. The police have assured that they are on that beat. Ghana hungry must partner to build compost recycle plants nationwide. And President receives letters of credence of 6 envoys. Plus, health danger. Danger looms at Kaneshi Market as filth engulfs market. Traders want garbage evacuated to prevent cholera outbreak. This has been a long-standing problem, even though we are paying baller tax. Ghana Health Service implores public to take COVID-19 jabs as it receives 1.7 Pfizer vaccines from US. I encourage you to go and take your jab. And the Finder newspaper, President supports Hearts of Oak with 1 million Ghana cedis to play in CAF Confederation Cup. Thank you very much, Mr. President. 2022 budget is a response to the call for jobs upon Nkrumah. E-levy, final details emerge. It applies to total value of transactions after the free 100 Ghana cedis. I thought we had the finance minister on bank transactions, electronic transactions, and internal remittances, right? EcoBank donates 100 laptops to KNUST to support less privileged students. And the Daily Guide is our final one for this morning. It says MPs clash over 2022 budget. Africa's first Siasita Research Center opens in Accra. And I am number 2. Bagbin declares, well, the last time he spoke. Afilmoni extols Western Group, and Ejura police break bank robbery syndicate or the ring. My guest this morning, Kamal Dean Abdullah. He is a National Communications Director of the NPP, Deputy National Communications Director of the NPP, and also former Nasara Coordinator National for the NPP, and also Comrade Murtala Mohammed, as he likes to be called, is honourable. He is the Member of Parliament for Tamale Central Constituency and a former Deputy Minister for Trade. Gentlemen, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Johnny.
You guys always as he likes to be called.
But that is what you like to be called.
And so you don't need to bring as he likes to be called.
No, I need to say it.
Why?
If he calls you comrade, somebody might think you are a CPP man. I'm saying if he calls you comrade, why? I'm only trying to help him.
Okay,
I'm giving you reason why. I'm giving you reason why.
I'm trying to help you. Let me also help you to appreciate what comradeship is all about. It is not a CPP thing.
Well,
it
has been their mantra.
It is an identification of members of progressive forces, members who are tilted towards the left. It is an identification, and the leftism of our political discourse did not start with the CPP. For the purposes of your proper appreciation of what comradeship
I grew
is
up
all
in the
about.
barracks when they say comrade.
Exactly.
Soldiers call themselves
comrade.
Exactly. But I'm not a soldier. I cannot be calling myself.
So that tells you that it transcends
leftists.
So I'm not.
CPP,
I don't want to call myself.
I say leftists are known to be socialists. You know that?
I know.
I say leftists are known to be socialists.
Who taught you this?
Oh, please. Leftists are known to be socialists.
Who taught you this?
But you see, interestingly, when socialists come to power, what they are supposed to be doing is to tailor to the people that they are governing. Okay, for masses, tailor. I'm telling you, socialist pro-poor policies. Now, of course, I have always maintained that when it comes to such policies, it is rather the party in Ghana that is declared as capitalist who indeed ensure that proper policies goes to the people. That he knows. These are facts. I can give you reasons. I can name a plethora of social proper policies that we have. Okay, the perceived capitalist party we have at heart. Okay, or we have the people at heart, and then brought about social proper policies for them. I can give a plethora of them. I'm telling you that when they come out, I'm not interested at this point. They're not interested at this point. But I'm only telling you, if that's the description they have for themselves, they don't even walk the talk. It's really sad.
You have allowed
him, don't walk the talk,
to do a disastrous, work for your viewing public. The purpose of any program, and let's agree. As the media, you agree. We educate, we entertain, and we inform.
Who determines that?
Unfortunately, what he has done this morning is just to entertain. Miseducation. There's a sharp difference between socialism, between communism, between Marxism. He needs to understand that. So for him to make that conclusion, because if Agama lizard more people, he wants to talk about their so-called poor policy. Yes, it includes the e-levy. It does include the e-levy.
Anyway, let's go to the corridors. Let's go to the corridors of the National Identification Authority. Some persons expressing their frustration. I don't have my national ID card, though I registered here at the Former Information Services Department. I was told to go and come. They gave me a slip. Now all the ink on the slip is gone. It's just left with the black markings that they do in my signature. I don't know how to go and collect my card back. But it's a job for another day. Take a listen to some frustrations being expressed, and then we'll come back into the studio to have that conversation.
2 years now, anytime like you come for your Ghana card, they'll just give you a number, but they'll serve about only 3 or 4 people. Then you just wait and they say, go and come tomorrow, go and come tomorrow. So I just came today too. My number is 83. They have served about only 4 people.
I did a registration in 2019. I couldn't get a card, and then you said it will be sent to all the district offices. So if I registered in Koliklote, there should be a district office in Koliklote where I can go and mention my name, mention my date of birth or whatever, and access my card. But now you're saying everybody that registered in Greater Accra should come here and pick up their cards. And it's quite chaotic.
The one who is doing the national, that is, what do you call it? The commissioner or what? If he's not doing if he's not doing his work well, he needs to be resigned. The government have to fire him.
Well, okay, so those are some of their frustrations there. I'll start with you, Kamal, on this one. The increasing number of concerns and complaints. Yes, we're talking about some 15 million people who have been registered. I can almost suspect that these are the part of the 15 million who have been registered, but they don't have their cards. That's inclusive of me.
Well, Johnny, thank you very much. Once again, good morning, and good morning to my brother, even though we started off with this argument as to what is socialist and what is not socialist.
Icebreakers.
Indeed, I think we've all agreed and accepted the fact that we need to have national identity.
Right.
And for that matter, a national ID card, which of course will spell out who are indeed Ghanaians proper, who of course hold a card, who are not Ghanaians, as it were, so that we can have a data as to the people that we're dealing with in this country. We've all agreed. I mean, it is an act of parliament that has set it up. Of course, parliamentarians, judges, whoever, every citizen of this country is supposed to be captured. We are told that some 15 million people have actually been captured. Now, the process you go through to be captured or to be issued a card is the same process you would have to go through for your card to get into your hands.
Right.
That is what we are told. What actually amounts to this? Maybe sometimes on our part, I would say impatience. On the part of the scheme or on the part of the institution, I would also say that lack of adequate education and proper channeling of how people should come to get their cards or people should come to get registered, as it were. I would only entreat and admonish them to say that, look, continue the publicity. I mean, listening to one of the frustrated, people, he said, look, we should have offices around. And I believe that there's already that structure in place. I don't know whether they've set off they've made it operational or not. Every district is supposed to have an NIA office that I know already. So this is something that is right knowledge. And I'm also saying that if indeed we are supposed to operationalize it, then the institution must take steps to ensure that indeed that office or those offices are operationalized. It will actually reduce this kind of pressure. And on the other hand, I've spoken about patience or impatient. Ghanaians have said that, you know, we really, with all respect, including me inclusive, we sometimes have, you know, little patience for some of these things. You may have a genuine case, but of course, it is also important you understand that, look, if they rush and certain mistakes are made, and all that is supposed to come with the card is not done properly, then of course they are also to blame for that. So let us have some amount of patience and see how.
If I registered in 2019 or even in 2020, I still don't have my card. The controller and accountant general says if you don't bring your card by next year, you're not getting paid. So you need to bring it so you're regularized. Private companies are demanding for it, so people may not be getting their salaries for November.
The last time I checked,
how patient can
the last time I checked,
an hungry man be?
I said the last time I checked, the controller and accountant general's, you know, directions or directive given was actually taken back.
I said until next year.
I'm saying
until next year.
I am saying that the last time I checked, that directive has actually been taken back. For me personally, I didn't support it. Okay, the controller and accountant general is not an employer. You don't employ people. You are managing the payroll of people.
But come on, it's been suspended, and now internal processes are happening. Yes. They are asking them to regulate because the workers' problem was that it was too sudden. So they have asked for time to be able to regularize.
I have agreed.
Now, most of them are demanding for their cars at these places. They can't find them, and the year is coming to a close.
Johnny, I am saying that I prefix my submission with two issues, which I said patience is demanded on our part, and of course the institution ought to be proactive, and of course by informing the people properly. Right. But the point I want to make, you raised the issue about controller and accountant general issuing a directive. With directive, you think can fuel the the crowding of those areas because they want to get their cars to be sure that they are not deleted, as it were. And I'm saying the last time I checked,
not me thinking, the people.
I am saying
I can play the videos for you.
But let's correct them, and that's why your fault. My brother just said that we entertain and inform, and then do it. Let's inform them properly that directive is not actually in effect. It has been taken back. It has been put somewhere, and the fact that somebody said by the end of December you are not going to have, if you don't have your card, you're not going to be paid, that is non-existent as we speak right now. So it is nothing that we should even.
But I'm also suggesting to you that by next year the controller and accountant general cannot set that rule at bay forever. It will come to it at some point, which is why the institutions are asking them to go and pick their cards and come and regularize their details.
Yes.
Waiting for that period where the rule will be reignited. At this
point, you and I would not speak to speculation. What is important is that there is some ongoing work by the NIA, authority. And I'm saying that I believe that by next year that you're talking about, there could also be, a situation where everybody would have gotten his or her cards. It could also be so, but we shouldn't speak to speculation. That's why I say let's admonish them to do what is right for all of us, because this is a national issue. This is not a partisan thing. It's for NDCs, for MPPs, for everybody. Every Ghanaian who is eligible to have that card is supposed to have it. So I don't see where we are going to have a brouhaha here. So let us push the institution to do what is right, and also encourage people to be patient to see how the process is.
Why, for example, are we not able to, in a fast digitized or digitalization era, send text messages to these applicants to say, Kamaldeen, come for your card at Klotikoli, Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. It will be there. Why can't we do a simple thing like that? People are messing up for COVID-19.
A very great suggestion you have actually pushed out there, and that's why I said I sent out an admonishment to them. Equally, you could also give such suggestions out there. I think they have a platform. The lawyers have always used the indoor management rule system, where they say that you are not within, so you might not know how things are practiced, so you can't even speak to it. They are better placed to speak to whatever structure or criteria they have put in place, as it were. But these are suggestions. If they don't have platforms like that going forward, can they have a situation where they can send text messages to people to do it? It's a very great idea and a good suggestion.
So, correct. Yesterday, I put up on my Twitter handle, I said, do you have an NIA card? How easy was the process? Why don't you still have an NIA card? Please share. The first comment says, Nana Kwame Mensah Brampa says, mine was smooth at the GRE Tema small tax office. Got my card in 2 hours. Another one says, my NIA card cannot be verified by any telco. I have to visit the NIA office for this to be corrected, but it's the only boss who can do this, but mostly on the field, struggling to get it done. I'm in Wa. Queen Otekwe says, I registered on the 10th of November 2018 in Adenta, and I still don't have my card. Meanwhile, the Adenta office is in the market and on the Story building, making the 8th aged and disability unfriendly. West Ham says, it took me days after joining the queue for the card until now, although I was able to go through the process, but haven't received the card till date. Thanks to Slate for, I have my card because they really had to, he doesn't know how they work the magic for him. Nick Papu Samu Adote says, I have been chasing my card since 2019. I'm still told it will come to Ladma, but yet nothing. I have given up. Togbi Jache says, I just use mine to travel to the other side of, I'm sure he's making fun of Dr. Bamia, of I don't have my card.
But it's not fun.
I'm coming.
E-passport is existent.
I don't.
You can use it.
Allow him.
It's not fun. When you say it's fun, it's not. It's not
what
fun.
he said, he says, I just use mine to travel. Okay, so what he read, he says, I just, maybe you want me to read it so that Dr. Bamia actually be reading.
I don't mind.
He says, I just use mine to travel to the other side of the road in my hometown. As
He's
Dr.
making fun of himself.
Promised. Scam government, that's what he said. I didn't want to read it.
So
I didn't want to read this, but
see, Dr. Bamia will not be happy.
Is not ready.
Allow me, please.
Dr. Bamia will not be happy with you this morning.
It says, well, I have NIA card, but the hurdles I had to go through before I acquired it is only God knows. And Ehonam says, I can imagine. I have given up because dropping in and out because I'm not physically strong and it's tiring. And after waking up at 5 a.m. on Friday to go and join the long queue at my center here in Nungwa, we were told around 10 a.m. that the system is slow, so they can't issue the card. We later left to NIA head office at Shashi Senior. We were asked to bring 250 Ghana cedis if we need the card that day. So these are some of the frustrations. I could go on and on and on and on, but this is what the people are feeling. I'm sure you have gotten some feedback as well.
Well, Johnny, good morning. Good morning to my brother, who has abandoned me because he's chopping so much that he doesn't even need to ask of his brother.
I don't know why my Northern brothers come to reconcile on my show.
And
reunite.
And good morning to the good people of Tamale Central. Johnny, permit me to say something. You know, I'm a product of Great Ganasco.
Okay.
We having our 60th anniversary.
Okay, like Tamasco
yes,
as well.
Yes, Tamasco. Our noisy neighbors.
They were whipped yesterday.
I felt very bad for them. Ideally, I should be happy that they were whipped, but I wasn't happy. I mean, I think that they made all of us proud as people from the north. The fact that they were able to reach that level, I would have loved Tamasco, won the competition. Unfortunately, the Kita schoolboys, said we should come home. I think that just as Ganasco, we dropped very early, and we did that for a purpose.
Why did you?
We wanted to get back home to prepare for the 60th anniversary.
Please.
So I wanted.
Stop explaining.
Johnny, I am telling you that we wanted to get back.
Even this there's propaganda in it. Oh, that's a very good one.
We wanted to get back home.
We
wanted to get back home to prepare for the 60th anniversary. And Tamasco, what they did was, okay, our brothers are preparing towards the 60th anniversary. It will be good we go and join them. Welcome. One thing I will tell the young men and then who participated in the quiz representing Tamasco and the other schools, when Richard Nixon lost the 1960 elections, the 62 elections in America, he said something that was famous, and that for me has always been my guiding principle. That a man is finished if he quits, but a man is not finished if he fails. So Tamasco, you are not finished. They are very noisy neighbors. We call them Sanargo experimental. So I think that they shouldn't be dumbfounded. They shouldn't get hurt. They have made all of us proud. We will not shy away from acknowledging and supporting them, even though they jubilated when we exited very early. It is my hope and belief that one day, Ganasco will one day take the lead in winning this. And I think that we have won this before, and Tamasco has also won. So I just want to congratulate Tamale, Sanargo Experimental, and also the students who participated.
So he will not be happy with
So he is a product of Ganasco.
Oh, okay.
In fact, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is a product of Ganasco.
Okay.
What Ganasco does is that we produce a president and we provide him with a spouse. Her Excellency Lordina Mahama is also a product of Ghana School. That's what Ghana School does. We don't only produce presidents, we produce presidents and provide them with their spouses.
I hear you.
And we did so. I think I thought that Kamal would have just admitted that there are challenges. Kamal, I don't think that you'll be happy when you apply for a national ID card for 2 years to 3 years and you haven't had it. You'll be so incensed. Even if it is not, it is something that is demanded by the Controller and Accountant General, you would love to have it. There are many things that the ID cards that were being used, the voters' ID card for bank transactions, and you go to some institutions now, they demand the national identification.
Right. Same registration and all of that.
Same registration. Not many people have, if you like, driver's license and passports. There are a lot of Ghanaians who do not have. The only identification they have is the voters' ID, which is somehow not accepted by some institutions, except the national identification. You had the Minister for Communication, who virtually threatened that she gave a particular time that if you do not have the national identification, you will not, you will not be allowed to use your SIM and others. So people,
somebody's in court.
Yes, people will be desperate. People would want to have that identification, and let's just admit that there are some, profound inefficiencies in the way some of these things are handled. We may have the opportunity to have our ID card, but many people do not still have their ID card.
I don't have my ID card.
Good, and I can understand the frustration. I did mine in Tamale. It took me months to be able to access it. When I went to the place, I had to access it in Accra. Perhaps because I'm a member of parliament that you go there and you could be attended to. How about our brothers and sisters who may not have the privileged position that you and I may have, and they may go through a lot of frustration. So I think that they need to sit up, they need to expedite action. I do know that they have established some offices in Accra. I know about some offices established. But if you listen to the accounts and the response to your tweet, some of them are saying that places that they are supposed to go for the ID cards, they will not. Under these unacceptable economic conditions heaped on the people of this country, a young person who is looking for a job that is non-existent would have to go for these places several days. They will enter Trotro, or they would even go via Uber. So it is frustrating. I think that they need to sit up. The NIA need to sit up. If the challenge has to do with the people they trained initially to execute this mandate, they laid them off and employed party boys, and that's a fact. And that is why we are experiencing some of these challenges. So I think they should sit up, let people have their ID cards, because I believe in few months' time, there are a lot of things that will be demanded, of citizens to be able to engage or transact certain businesses. And the earlier the response to these concerns, I think the better for us all.
Okay, let's get into Parliament. Kamaldi, the former Deputy Minister for the National Security Interior as well, is now the Chairman of the Foreign Affairs Committee of Parliament, Brian Champon, has advised the Minister for National Security, Mr. Albert Kandapa, not to release information on President Akufo-Addo's foreign travels to the public. Contributing to the debate on the 2022 subject on foreign affairs, the MP for Abetifi, Mr. Champon, said that information about the President's travels could not be made public due to national security reasons and the sensitive nature of such information. He said anytime a president travels, he returns with goodies. He's visited Germany and he came home with vaccines. Anytime he travels, he comes with goodies. And I've advised the National Security Minister to keep the information on presidential travels secret. He continued, it is not every information that can be divulged to the public. Hitherto, it was information that could be shared, but it's no longer information that can be played in the political arena. This is a story by Diodon Dafiamakpo. So the people are demanding for accountability. It does appear that we are hiding behind national security not to give them the figures. One of the things that has come up strongly is the government's proposal to have this e-levy out there on mobile transactions, bank transactions, and internal remittances. Now, the people are saying that show us what you have done with the money, and then it will give us the impetus to support you to demand for some more for national development. It costs the taxpayers money to sponsor the president's trip. Why should the taxpayer not be told how much it costs?
Thank you very much. The piece you just read does not talk about accounting. Doesn't talk about figures not to be reported to the right quarters. It talks about divulging information, okay, sensitive information to the public. The piece you just read, I'm taking a lead from it, okay, so that we would not misconstrue what Brian Champon is alleged to have said, because this is a report.
He has been quoted. So
I
want to believe my fellow journalists.
Okay, I'm not saying I don't believe the journalists. I believe, but I'm saying that this he's alleged to have said because this is somebody reporting what he has said, even though there's a claim of he being quoted. And the point, I'm still stressing on my point, he didn't say that do not account, okay, in terms of figures, how much is spent, whatever. He says be careful not to divulge information that is not meant for the public. And is it a fact that national security has certain information that they need to keep to themselves? That is a fact. National security doesn't come out with everything. If, of course, the story was to say that don't go and account for how much it costs for the president to travel, that is where I think that one would have had a problem with the question you have asked.
But you do know that that question has been asked so many times of the foreign affairs minister.
The minister
said, go and ask.
We have a
it was asked of the finance minister. He says, go and ask the foreign affairs minister. Then the foreign affairs minister says, go and ask the national security minister. Now, a former deputy at the national security ministry is telling, defense and national security. Now, defense says, go and ask national security. National security, former deputy is now telling the national security minister that
not to divulge information not meant for the public, but not to go and
account. What information is being sold?
Very well. That is why I'm saying, excuse me.
A black of Norton.
Johnny, let's have a discussion.
No, I'm just
you have a very huge platform. I'm saying that the minister, it's not the first time he's going to be called by Parliament to come and give an account of what they want. The National Security Minister has been to Parliament on several occasions. If on this occasion again, he's invited by Parliament, because my information is that Parliament is calling on him to come and explain to them or give them an account or figures or whatever questions that they have to ask him, okay, will be tabled before him. Then he would come to Parliament and, of course, give that account of it. But I'm saying that speaking to this particular information, we should not say what Brian Champon said is that be careful not to release sensitive information to the public. But Brian Champon did not say don't listen to the calls by Parliament, don't go to Parliament and then give them an account of what they want. No, he didn't say that. Now, you are hinging the whole thing on cost of travel of the president. And I'm saying this story is not actually talking about cost of travel by the president. This story, if it's what you have read, that we're just speaking to, says that certain informations not meant for the public through the national security should not be actually given to the public. And I again say this is common knowledge. National security has the right to keep certain information that are not meant for the public.
Why is it taking the executive so long to tell the people how much it costs for the president to travel on one trip, for example? Because that question has come up so many times, as I'm sure you can. The Hansard is evidence enough.
You cited the finance minister called to Parliament to answer and to give account of, how much it costs for the president to travel. The finance minister got there and said, look, the wrong person is called here. And is that a fact or not a fact? It's a fact. It is. The finance minister, yes, indeed, ensures that disbursements are done. That's true. However, if you want the right information, you fall on the defense ministry.
Is he not a
spender? They are in charge of that.
Is he not a spender?
Listen, and I'm saying that the finance minister, of course, responds to memos that emanates from a minister to them for certain funding to be done. Finito. Then, of course, that ministry is supposed to give response to how much that money or how that money has actually been disbursed. So if you then say that because he releases funds, then he should come and tell them how it's... I mean, you are not actually...
Doesn't the finance minister do an audit of what is he allocates?
Well, we have the auditor general. The finance minister doesn't do audit. Auditor general does auditing.
So, for example...
That's what the constitution says.
So let's...
don't check it.
So let's understand this. You apply to me and say that I should give you 20 Ghana cedis for lunch. Okay. Now, I give off the 20 Ghana cedis for lunch. But then I cannot tell how much I gave you for lunch. If I am called to say, how much did Kamal take for lunch?
You see, Johnny, let's be careful not to reduce governance to, if you like, street way of doing things. Governance has structures in place.
The street people are the ones who pay the taxes.
I'm saying not street way of doing things.
I am
trying to say that
taxes
no, I am not. Please, don't misconstrue me. I mean, don't try to pitch me against the public. What I'm saying is the street way of doing things. We could just meet and then say, oh, blah 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 blah, and administrative structures are actually not followed. But I'm saying that we cannot reduce governance to that level. Governance has a structure. Then I did mention that every ministry, every department that is supposed to have a budget allocation has been done, and you are supposed to apply to the finance ministry for such releases to be made to you. Now, if it is passed by parliament and you apply to finance ministry and then your release is made, the expenditure as it's supposed to capture is borne by you. I mean, you go ahead to do this expenditure. Now, if questions are to be asked as to how the money has been spent, you don't go to finance ministry. Finance ministry asks whether or not disbursement or release has it been made to this ministry. But the details of the expenditure, you go to that ministry. That's the argument.
That is the ministry responsible report back to the finance ministry after disbursement has been done.
No, that's not why it's done. You first
it is not done that way.
You raise the issue of auditing. Doesn't the finance minister audit? Then I say even by the constitution, the auditor general is supposed
I'm saying
to audit,
doesn't the minister, if finance ministry gives money to the defense ministry,
yes, he's supposed
is
to
the finance ministry not interested to get feedback?
No, that's not. You see,
it doesn't work like that.
You see,
it doesn't work like that.
We can decide.
It doesn't work like that.
We can decide to play with the emotions of people.
It doesn't work like that.
That is not how it works.
But the Financial Management Act. The Financial Management Act.
I am saying
that. Have you come through the Financial Management Act?
Listen, I am saying when disbursement or releases is made to a particular department or ministry or agency, okay, that department or ministry or agency is subjected to auditing, which auditing is supposed to be done by a body as mandated by the constitution. And I'm saying again that if you're going,
with the finance minister in copy.
Oh, with the finance minister in copy, obviously. Yes. I have not said
by the Financial Management Act.
But when it comes to seeking information or for information on a particular way of how much has been, how much some money has been used, at the end of the day, that same entity that the money was actually released to for such a purpose should be called to come to parliament to, as it were, account. So when the finance minister went there, the finance minister said, look, the wrong person is here. Get the defense ministry who applied for such funds to come and explain how much has actually been spent. I don't think we should belabor this point at all. It is a structure that is laid down and it's clear for all of us. So the point I want to make is that, yes, indeed, if money has actually moved from finance ministry to a particular entity, that entity is supposed to come out there and then explain to parliament as it were. And when the finance minister mentioned or made this point, parliament did not disagree with him.
Are you then?
No.
Are you then?
Disagree?
I'm coming. Are you then?
Not.
Come on, are you then now saying that the executive is committed to give account to the people on how much it costs the taxpayer for the president to travel around?
The executive has always been committed to giving account. And once again, I'm repeating myself. There are structures laid down. The president don't just get up and then dip his hands into the coffers of Ghana and do whatever he wants to do. That's what I'm saying. There are structures. Governance actually goes with such structures, and that's what the president follows to travel.
I hear
so for now, if you're saying that indeed the president or a ministry is supposed to come and give an account, why not? Parliament has the authority. They have the power. They can hold those ministries or that said ministry before them to come and give answers.
I hear you. Mutala, step in for me. So the finance minister came to Parliament. Your side had occasion to invite him. Give us a chronology of what happened first of all, and then we can get into the issues. Why this account is delaying?
Well, John, it is very clear. My brother came here this morning unprepared. It is very, very clear. And if he wanted us to change the topic, we could have changed the topic. And I guess when he came and started talking about the pro-poor, interventions this government made, it was the clear indication that he prepared on pro-poor. He wasn't expecting this issue. In the first place, he tried to give an interpretation as to what, Honorable Brana Champong said yesterday. And I think that he's absolutely far from the truth. Johnny, for the purposes of your viewing public, if you could read that aspects of the story, particularly the one where he's quoted I think it's
okay. So just to be fair to the debate, paragraph 3 of the story on page 3 of the Republic Press, a story written by Diodon Dapiamakbo. It says, hashtag, anytime our president travels, he returns with goodies. He visited Germany and he came home with vaccines. Anytime he travels, he comes with goodies. Then there's another quote in the 4th paragraph says, I advise the Minister of National Security to keep the information on presidential travels secret. He continued, it is not every information that can be divulged to the public. Hitherto, it was information that could be shared, but it is no longer information that can be played in the political arena.
Fantastic. I think it's enough.
Okay.
He said that every information, that's what he said, should not be made public. Who gives him that authority to do that? We are practicing a democracy. And when he said it, there was noise and the floor was there. When he made, yes, at the floor. Who gives him that authority? The people of this country have the right to know how much is expended on our president, particularly his travels. And in any case, people were not demanding to know what happened between negotiations that the president had, for example, with another president in the matter of security installations or arms in this country. That has never been the demand made by the people of this country. The demand that the people of this country have consistently made, and thanks to my brother and a comrade, Honorable Okujeto, demanded to know how much was spent in the travel. Even the USA government, Biden, when he travels, how much is spent on him is known to the American people. So it is not any secret information to know how much is spent on the president.
Are you asking beyond how much it costs?
Nobody ever asks that. Nobody ever asks to know when you travel, you had a negotiation with another, arms dealer or another company to supply arms for the security of this country. Nobody demanded that. Such demand, the members of parliament know when you make the demand, you have a committee responsible to make such demands. In fact, on issues of security, it is not even open to the entire house. It is not open to the entire house because they border on our safety, our security as a state. But the issue of how much was spent on the president, it is the right of the people of this country to know. It is not any privileged information that must be kept somewhere. And it was so compelling that the president left an aeroplane, a presidential jet, provided by the people of this country for the purposes of the president travels, and went with a private jet.
You've been told that he cannot travel for a certain number of hours.
No, but that is not true.
That's a claim that's been made
the
by
president of Liberia. The president of Liberia is less a human being. If you knew that it could not be traveled certain places, yet you made it available for President Oponwe to travel. I mean, isn't that speaks volumes?
For lesser hours, right?
Which lesser hours? How many hours? It doesn't matter. How many hours? How many hours do you need? Please, how many hours do you need to travel from here to France? Maximum 6 hours. President Mahama traveled with it. President Mahama was less a human being.
When it was new.
What new? Have we been told by the Minister for Defense that it cannot travel? Have we been told? The only explanation, please, the only explanation, the president could not take his shower and does his manicure.
I think that you are overstretching it.
Oh, but he
said he needs to freshen up. He didn't say,
please,
shower, allow me, come on, please.
So low.
He said he needs to freshen up.
Freshen up.
He didn't say,
somebody wants to
freshen house.
He's busy.
Come on, I kept quiet for you.
You have just lost the debate and it's telling in your face. What do you mean by freshen up?
I don't know. Did you ask for further and better particulars?
He said that there is no even shower in it. That's why he said on the floor of parliament. He's sitting here once again, giving his own interpretation. If a gamma lizard, more paper. He prepared for a gamma lizard. He came and on the question paper, he didn't say a gamma lizard. He saw crocodile. So he started saying that if a gamma lizard, more paper. What is he telling us? Now he's giving his own interpretation. And he even said that when the Minister of Finance came to Parliament and said that they should ask the Minister for Defense, that we didn't say anything. Were you in Parliament? That is not true. And in any case, when people demand to know how much is expended on our president, it is within their right to know. Every single person in this country whose comfort, whose security is ensured with our taxes must respond when we demand to know how much is expended on the president. One other bizarre statement my brother made, and I thought that he shouldn't have, and that explains why I said he didn't come here prepared to have a discussion. He says that, oh, when the minister came, the minister said the only minister responsible is the Minister of Defense. I mean, what logic is this? The monies are not kept in the accounts of the Minister of Defense, if you do not know. Such expenses are authorized by the Minister for Finance. Sir, hold on, I listen to you.
You're not listening to
the Minister of Finance, that's why when you ask of the auditor,
you're not listening.
Please, come on, when you ask, Johnny, when you said that doesn't the minister does auditing, his understanding was the auditing that is done by the Auditor General. Any monies that must be expended, there should be justification. That's why we have the give me system. There should be a justification that the Minister of Finance must monitor how much is being spent. The Minister of Finance monitors how much is spent by any ministry. So there could not be any ministry providing the appropriate response in the matter of this question. Then the Minister of Finance, they were unwilling. Then you have Brian Achampong, who appeared in making his contribution to the debate on the policy statement presented by the minister, and said that people, you don't need to divulge. Nobody said, tell us what happened between the president and whoever in
Do you have a timeline for this
what
demand?
We have
do you
demanded,
have a timeline for this demand?
You see, Johnny, what they do cleverly, anytime you raise genuine concerns, they reduce it to an NDC MPP playing field. It is not about NDC MPP. It is about transparent and accountable governance. And in fact, the most important ingredient of every decent governance system is transparency and accountability. The people of this country demands to know. And I said that demand was so compelling because of certain things that happened. Now, if the Minister of Finance tells us this presidential jet cannot go anywhere, that it is dangerous for the president to use it, we will understand. But he told us that he couldn't freshen
He said
up.
there are benefits. Each time the president travels, he brings goodies.
What goodies?
He went to Germany and brought you vaccines.
Which vaccines?
Vaccines.
Oh, was it only Ghana that got? Other countries didn't go. The president didn't go. They sent their ministers of health. In fact, other countries, it was the ambassadors who did the negotiation for those vaccines to be provided. Those vaccines were provided to many countries. The president didn't need to travel to Germany to get the vaccines. Our ambassador in Germany could have done that. The president traveled with a huge number, and every time he travels with huge numbers of people at the expense of the taxpayer. And that is why we are making these demands. You cannot be spending huge sums of money taking private jets. When people complain, he doubles up. If this thing had happened under President Mahama, I am telling you, those protectors of democratic governance would have gone to town to attack President Mahama.
Do you have a timeline? Do you have a timeline for this demand?
Well, I mean, you are dealing with a government that is not responsive. And like I said, under the MPP, everywhere you look in vain to identify a familiar environment that is supposed to be associated with a country where institutions are independent and operational. They will simply not respond to us. They will simply not respond. The arrogance which they even speak to people.
One of the pushbacks that has come as a result of the proposal to have an e-levy is that people are saying, show us what you use the money for, so that you can demand for more. Yesterday I heard Kujokon come on the floor of Parliament say that you go to your constituencies to campaign, you tell the people you are coming to push for development. Now they're asking you to pay more so you can get more development, and then you are pushing back. But on the streets, people are saying, show us what you use the money for, and then we can agree to whatever taxes you're trying to impose. Until then, we are not. So there's a timeline that the people are expecting and demanding and hoping that the minority will push for. Do you have a timeline for this demand?
Johnny, I have done some bit of economics. And if I haven't forgotten my SSS economics, every taxation, there are three forms of determining what kind of taxes, or the impact or the effect of taxes. Taxes are either progressive, proportional, or regressive. And regressive is where...
Is a new topic for us?
No, we continue on the budget. Or you want to talk before me? It's on the same budget. Now, this particular tax system is not only dangerous, it is extremely regressive. And it is so because the burden is going to be on the poor person than the rich. We are being told that you need to pay 1.75, not only on communication or Momo. I have realized that they have moved the debate from what the minister said. The minister said that every electronic transaction. That lecture Dr. Baumia had at Ashasi, I indicated here that it was a prelude to what was going to happen. And true to my prediction, that is what we are experiencing today. I know that Kamal, in the heart of his heart, will condemn this because he knows the economic conditions of the people of Zogo.
You don't speak for Kamal.
He knows the economic conditions of the people of Zogo. You don't speak for
me, my brother.
I'll be shocked if Kamal doesn't condemn
my friend. Don't preempt what I want to say.
Again, Johnny, the argument is also being made by the Minister of Communication that if you can send a memo of 100 Ghana cedis or more, you cannot be deemed to be a poor person. What logic is this? They're arrogance. If you have a teacher who earns less than 2,000 Ghana cedis, or a laborer, take for example the cleaners at the various ministries and agencies, some of them earn as little as 800 Ghana, 600 Ghana cedis. Such a person has his old mother in a village, and he has to send the money to the old mother. That person sends, let's say, 200 Ghana cedis. Because you could upon Kuruma, my good friend John Kuma said that if you make a transaction that is above 100 Ghana cedis, it will attract the 1.75 levy. So that person sends 200 Ghana cedis out of the 600 Ghana cedis to the mother. The person will pay the levy. Now, it is even dangerous to businesses. If you take a businessman who has his business partner in Kumasi, and you have to send 100,000 Ghana cedis to that business partner, mind you, because of the new denomination, 100,000 you can just hold it in your bag, handbag. That person goes to the bank to send the 100,000 Ghana cedis. The person would have paid the bank charges, and again will pay about 1,750 Ghana cedis on the 100,000 Ghana cedis. Johnny, 1,750 Ghana cedis on 100,000 Ghana cedis to transfer money from Accra to Kumasi to your business partner. How much is return ticket from Accra to Kumasi? Return ticket from Accra to Kumasi will be about 900 Ghana cedis or less.
Something must give.
So I'm saying that
something must give if you want to develop.
Johnny, I'm saying that return ticket from Accra to Kumasi will be less than 900 Ghana cedis. Now, does it make sense that instead of sending them, taking a flight, just take return flight, go to Kumasi, give the 100,000 Ghana cedis to the person and attend to some issues and come back?
Okay.
If you say something must
Thank you.
People want to see what you have used the money for.
Well,
you can't use the money
to be renting to read some messages. When we come back, we will have a final bite on it. And
I haven't finished.
Some detail in the your airtime is finished. Your airtime is finished.
Johnny,
your airtime.
When you need the money, entering private.
Hello, but how are you?
Yes, and baffing in the air.
Johnny, give me some messages quickly, and then you can continue the
You have
conversation.
your
Good morning, Johnny. I regretted voting for the NPP in 2020. The NPP only came to power to lie to Ghanaians. They're doing invisible things in Ghana. At the moment, I've parked my motor inside my room because I can't afford fuel. But they will come to the stadium and claim they've done this and that. Johnny, it's only God who is taking care of teachers in Ghana and their families. God is watching all of us in Ghana. Savior from Nkranza sends that message. Hello, Johnny. Good morning. Thanks for raising the issue at the Kotoka International Airport in connection with the COVID test and the payment of $50 for Ghanaian passport holders and $150 for foreign passport holders. Can someone from the authorities come in and elaborate on why the test is necessary, since all arriving passengers hold a negative test results within 72 hours? Also, where's the money going to and what are they using it for? Can the authorities account for every cent of the fund collected to the general public? Thanks. I mean, as June this year, the transport minister during his vetting had indicated that, you know, we had raised about $17 million and about $1 million of that was going to the Ghana Airport Company Limited as royalties. That's as far as we know. We don't have the latest figure on how much has been accrued since that time. But good morning, TV3. I'm appealing to Parliament to do the needful by asking national security to account for the bullets that killed the 8 Ghanaians during the elections before any budget allocation is made to them. That's Joe from Bolga. I was the registration assistant in Kintampo North constituency for the NIA during the mass registration exercise. Johnny, before someone's card is issued, we need to verify your card with your fingerprint. The card issuance officer will have to do that before they can issue it out. Trust me, anyone who registers will surely get his or her card. That's Dr. Babazamo, Master Planner Junior, Kintampo. Good morning, Johnny. I've registered in 2019, but I've not received my card till now. I followed up so many times, but to no avail. Why can't we put measures in place to make the card easily accessible before giving out those threats? Is it a curse to be Ghanaian? I'm fed up. That's Dollar from Shia. Good morning, Johnny. Please kindly inform NAPCO authorities to pay us. Well, someone has given us a timeline of 2 weeks on my life because I owe her. I'm waiting on that payment to be able to settle that debt so I can continue to live. It's serious, please. The CEO said plans were underway to pay the Heal Ghana beneficiaries. After that, they'll add them all to the others who have not received September and October. And so we'll find out when exactly that money will come so we can update you on that. Good morning, Mr. Johnny. This is Prince Nasara Isahak, Peace Callers member from Vogu. This government has no idea how to govern the good people of this country. Every policy this government brings is to make the poor man even poorer, or to make the rich man richer. Minority group in Parliament should reject the e-levy in advance before it is brought into Parliament for debate. Well, debate started yesterday, by the way. Good morning, Comrade Mutala Mohammed, Tamale Central MP. Good morning, Johnny. I registered for the Ghana card on the 11th of December 2019. Until now, I have not received the card. Anytime I go to the office, they tell me to come the following week. I'm fed up with their go come, go come. Okay, So for Yamusa in Kumbungu says the e-levy is just a small component of the budget. Why do we allow the NDC to engage in propaganda as though they'll do something different? Ghanaians should demand alternative policy from the NDC. I'm sure if you've been listening to them, you'd hear that they have also proffered some other solutions. But yes, we have a rep here. We'll see what he has to say. Good morning, Johnny. Please ask Dr. Nyaz and NAPCO to pay a 2 months allowance as promised. He said he was going to pay a month ago. NAPCO trainees are really suffering because we're asked to go back to work hungry, which is very pathetic. Moreover, they've not been paid. And I remember that before we spoke to him, he had mentioned that they were going to receive it that Friday that we spoke to him. They still have not received it. Later, he said that they were going to pay the Heal Ghana beneficiaries first, and then after that, they'll pay everyone else. Heal
Ghana owed what, 7 months?
Yes, 7 months. 7 months. Well, NAPCO trainees are really suffering because we're asked to go back to work hungry, which is very pathetic. Moreover, we need the money to survive and pay our bills. That's Jay from Taifa. Good morning to you. The budget presentation was in the right direction to some elite community within our jurisdiction, but to a lot of people, it's a big no. My point is, budget presentation should reflect the market situation and what exactly is happening within the economy. It must favor the majority of the people within the country. That's Aaron Babako Kokomisa from Latibio Koshi. Sally Susetre SS from Power OT region. That's the last message. Says President Akufo-Addo is fixing Ghana, and fixing Ghana is like a sharp-edged tool. Every Ghanaian has a role to play. You mean, okay, as a responsible citizen. Let's pay our taxes for the betterment of all. On another breath, in another breath, the minority is for toll collection. And in another breath, they're against the e-levy. Hypocrisy at its peak. Forward together, protecting their legacy. Johnny, that's it.
Thank you, Bella. Grateful that you could join us. John Dia says, how much it costs for the president to travel around is extremely sensitive, and that should be kept under wraps, according to Brian Echampon. Yet, it's okay to use taxpayers' money to fund these luxurious trips without telling him or her how much it really cost us. What kind of logic is this? Good morning, bro. Johnny, what is Kamal saying? Has anybody asked them to come and give security details of the president's travels? Must it take Brian Echampon to advise the National Security Minister on what information to give to the public and what not to? Why do they treat Ghanaians as though we are, well, use the word I can use. No? They can keep the information to themselves for now. A day is coming when they will be compelled to answer. Fred Agbenyo is not happy at all. Yes, Fred Agbenyo. Now, this e-levy thing, quickly. Yes. Final details have emerged, according to Elvis Darko of the Finder newspaper. He says transactions that will not be affected. If you said 100 Ghana cedis a day is free of the 1.75 tax, the originator of a transaction will pay. That's it will apply to electronic payment platforms, platforms, online banking, mobile money platforms. You pay. E-levy is different from fees charged by service providers. So your service provider will still charge you, but you have to pay for 1.75. GRA to partner service providers to collect e-levy. That's what is there. Transfer to another person's wallet attracts e-levy. So I'm transferring from my wallet to another wallet attracts e-levy. Transfer for bank to another person's Momo account attracts the e-levy. Using Momo to pay for services or products attracts e-levy. Debit or credit card, QR code, point of sale for transaction attracts e-levy. E-commerce online payments attracts e-levy. Inward remittances attract e-levy. No e-levy on ATM transactions, so that the e-levy will not affect automated teller machines transactions. No e-levy on current account transfers to savings account. No e-levy on transfers between a person's account in different banks. So I see we say Agri Development Bank, I'm sending to GCB, there will be no transaction charge there. No e-levy on bank transfers and checks. And any remedy for possible decline in usage, well, it says that the finance minister says that has been calculated. The number of people who may stop using mobile money as a result of this have been catered for. There's also an opportunity cost that they spoke about, and how this will support the 1 million Ghana cedis each year to support the Use That initiative. And there's a 24-hour service center that will answer all the concerns. Come out, your closing thoughts.
Well,
I needed to bring this clarity.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You see,
so you have your final bite.
The budget is being debated. Okay, we have a member of parliament here. I think they've started debating the budget.
They have.
Very
They've
well.
been at it for 3 days or so.
But debated yesterday.
Please, I'm saying that the budget. Please, you had your turn, and you said all manner of things. So listen to me. The budget is being debated, and of course, I would say that look, our parliamentarians should put Ghana first.
Wow.
We should put Ghana first, and we should ensure that indeed let the people know that without revenue mobilization as a state, development can never go on. I want to hear the NDC declaring a tax-free regime when they are voted for. They can never.
But have we said
no, please. Why? We have been in this country before. Nuisance taxes have been imposed on us before.
You've replaced them all.
He sits here and then talk as if they are saints, and that look, they are holier than thou, and that when they are given the opportunity, they would come in and then be the best managers of this economy. I differ.
Don't you think, for example, that the 12 billion cedis that was captured by the Auditor General's report, in respect of financial irregularities, salary irregularities,
I discussed it here with you,
cash irregularities, procurement irregularities, payment irregularities, if you have plugged that loophole, 12 billion would have done a lot with it.
You are more than right when we say that, look, let us work in earnest to ensure that such leakages are actually stopped. It is important. What corruption does, myself and Ediju sat here, we discussed it, and we said, look, if over 13 billion is misappropriated and reported by the Auditor General, it is on us to ensure that we assist, okay, in, if you like, blocking such leakages. That will help us out. I agree. But on the other side, our tax is also important in terms of revenue mobilization.
But we've never
and we say yes, they are. Now, the budget being debated here, and already they have indicated that e-levy we are not going to go for.
Even the entire budget must be rejected. It's a scam.
Allow him.
That budget.
We don't have a lot of time. Please bring down the tone a bit. I'm surprised a lawmaker will talk like this. If there's no budget,
you don't have the right to do that.
I'm saying if there's no budget, there's no physical policy.
The budget is a scam.
And if there's no physical policy, of course the expenditure you are calling for, even your own expenditure, the appropriation coming to parliament will not even come to your pocket.
Thank you.
You don't know that.
You see,
if there's no budget, even you will not be paid. So I'm saying
this budget is a scam.
It never be a scam. You see, we as a government.
Why is the MPP talking about the e-levy as if it's the first time you're trying to raise money from Ghanaians?
Why? We're not talking all about only e-levy. We're talking about the goodies also in the budget. Why? The youth that we're not discussing that. trying to set up an entrepreneurial environment strongly to help the youth of this country. We're not talking about that.
You mentioned it as youth bank.
181 factories we have ensured that they exist today.
Read it as the youth bank last year.
The energy. I listened to you and Napo here, the energy minister.
Right.
Okay, what I'm saying that today, taking Ghanaians from Dumso and promising never to have Dumso is not something to talk about. We are having to present.
Let's be fair to him. Let him take 1 minute. You are taking 2 minutes.
We are all from Northern Region.
Your mic is off.
Kamal, we are all from Northern Region. They have indicated here that they set up 6 factories. 6 in Northern Region. Can Kamal mention 2 of those factories?
Go to Wale Wale.
Which factory?
Come to Tamale Central.
Which factory? Which factory? I want the name.
In this area.
Which factory? Mention the name.
The factory in
which
processing factory.
Which factory? Which factory? Which factory?
He doesn't even
know which factory. First and foremost, he said that you come to Tamale Central.
There is a chemical processing factory.
Where? Which area? Where is it?
Go towards industrial area.
Is industrial area even part of Tamale Central? He doesn't even know.
No, listen.
Hold on. It is very clear. Now the next thing.
In the side
and there
are
hold on.
There's a guinea farm processing factory.
Johnny.
Oh, okay.
Johnny.
But it's under
Johnny.
What's the capacity of the factory?
Johnny.
I think the last time I checked, it was about 8,000 beds or so.
8,000 a day.
Okay.
In an hour. Okay.
But of course, they started operation, and somewhere along the line they had to stop.
Oh, Master, this is scam. Another scam. Johnny, he said Tamale Central. When I push him, he said industrial area, and I said industrial area is not Tamale Central. It's Tamale South. I know when I push him again, when I push him, he says it's Anargo.
We have to go. Kamaldeen Abdullahi is a former national coordinator of the NPP. He is also a deputy national communications director of the NPP. Also, Comrade Murtala Mohammed is the member of parliament for the Tamale Central constituency in the Northern region. Happy birthday to little Maximilian Dugan. It's your birthday today. And also to, sorry about that, Elias Manuel Kote, son of Claudio Safutu Kote. And this is from your parents. You're a student at Cedar School in Kaneshie. You're a pupil actually at Cedar School in Kaneshie. Call Grandpa 020985 5696. That's 020985 5696. I'll not be part of this. I'll see you after the break.